Hello and welcome to Life Lessons with Mrs. O. Now, today I'm going to be talking on teenagers. Teenagers, I know. That's the time I've heard a lot of parents say they dread it and they ask me, Mrs. O, how did you do it? So I'm here to share some of the things I've learned during my own time when my children were teenagers. Now, teenagers is from 13 to 19. And those years can either destroy your relationship with your teenager or can bring you close together as a parent and with your child. So adolescents can be, I want you to understand that age, that time, there's so much that is going on in the lives of your child, your teenager. The hormones are going haywire. They are no longer children. They're not babies. They're no longer kids, and they are not adults yet. So that's another time in your parenting life where you need a lot of patience. You have to do a lot more of praying. You need a lot of understanding, and you also have to choose your battles, because this is a time that it's for your children, even for your kids, it's a challenging time for them, because they are changing physically, they're changing emotionally, and even socially they are changing. And for the girls, they're beginning to develop in some areas, and in some, the boys, their voices are getting deep. They're beginning to have a little bit of mustache, and you see them, they keep pulling it, and all of that. The girls are interested in makeup. They're interested in makeup, interested in painting their nails, and they're interested of doing some. They don't want to do the kids' hair anymore. I had that with my own daughter. She couldn't do. She wanted to use attachment now. She didn't want to just do a shuku. She didn't want to just do all back. She wanted to braid her hair, And so, at this stage of your parenting, it's important that you begin to decide on the things that you're going to give into and the things that you're not going to give into. And this is where, number one, your family vision comes into play, and secondly, your family core values are also very important at this time. And this is not the time for you to having those core values. It should be something that you have had, that should have been in place long before the teenage years. So at this time, you have to be very, very understanding with your children. And I want to also bring some good news to you. Excuse me. It's not going to last. It's just a phase. It's just a phase that will pass. However, the consequences of that phase is going to be forever, whether it is negative, whether it is positive. So it's important that you have this at the back of your mind, that the teenage years and all the challenge that come with it is just short-lived. It's not going to last forever. Parents, it's not going to last forever. So please don't let your frustration get in the way, because they are going to make sure they frustrate you. They're going to make sure that they push you to the point that if you are not careful, you will tip over. And even as parents too, if you're not careful, you tip your children over. So very quickly, I want you to understand that at this time, it's going to be a tug of war between the parents and the teens. However, one time they are very independent and acting as all grown up. The next time you see them, they're acting like babies. Nobody loves me. Nobody cares about me. So you need to be able to manage those situations very well. Another thing that you will see during this time is your children, your teenager will continue to argue with you, especially when you say no. Another word you will continuously hear while you are trying to say something, you will hear, I know. Mom, I know. Dad, I know. I give you this personal story. There was one time that my husband was trying to tell my son something, I can't remember what. And dad was still trying to say it, and my son said, I know. And so we asked, what do you know? And then he kept quiet for a few minutes, and I realized that he didn't even know what we're going to say. He didn't know what dad was going to say. And he responded, I know, you know. So some of the times you can catch them. When they say, I know, okay, what do you know? You know. So also, I want you to also understand that your teenager may go behind your back to do what you have told him or her not to do. So you have to put strategy in place for such a thing like that. There must be consequence for that behavior. And very quickly, I also want to quickly say that you are a parent first before you are a friend. You are a parent first before you are a friend. I mean, that was one good thing I was very good at. I know how to switch. I can be smiling and laughing with my child, and that one inappropriate will come in, and I will switch and I will deal with the behavior. I don't attack the person of your child. Deal with the inappropriate behavior. Now, I also want to realize that at this time, friends and romantic relationship is more important than you. You'll find out that your teenager will love to spend more time with his or her friend more than the family. Don't get offended. They would like to spend more time with their friends. They want to do sleepover. They want to spend more. Then also, they spend more time in their rooms. I mean, I'll share this story with, I counsel teenagers, young adults with their parents. So I was having a one-on-one with this girl, and she kept saying, Mrs. O, my mom will just barge into my room. My mom will just comes into my room without knocking. And I was trying to tell mom was saying, in whose house? Please, let's not forget that once upon a time we were teenagers. I never liked it when my dad did that. So I never did that to my children. I would not. I may not wait. In fact, I was always accused of not waiting for an answer. But at least I will knock. My own, they never knocked. They just opened the door. They didn't care whether I was dressing up or, you understand? So please, your teenagers, they need their privacy. They value their privacy. Give it to them. Knock before you enter their bedroom. You know? Don't take their phone to see what is going on there. However, I want to bring a balance to that. If by any way, by any indication, you need to get your child's phone because you have a feeling something is off, please ask the child to give you the phone. And please don't tell the child, don't tell your child when he's going to school, oh, when you come back, I want to see your phone. Don't do that. As well, you can go to them and say, let me have your phone. So if there's anything that is inappropriate, you will see it before they're able to delete it. However, I want you to understand that they also need their privacy. Okay? Now, another thing you realize is that they will keep their social media account private. Their conversation will be private. And then, you know what will also happen? They have a way of talking. So parents of teenagers, go and learn and understand their language. It's important. You know, they say some things that even between my children, they are talking and I'm there and I can't understand. So you need to go and learn the way your children, your kids or your teenagers are communicating. And I want to tell you that all of these things are also part of growing up. But I want to please, I beg you, keep an eye on mental health issues. Please, keep your eyes on mental health issues. Children, teenagers these days with a lot of pressure, peer pressure, they get depressed, they are anxious, they have eating habit disorders, they are abusing substances. They have substance abuse, and these things, they emerge during teenage years. Keep an eye out on those things. So I will tell parents, major on what is major and leave minor things out. You will have to decide by yourself the things that are minor and the things that are major. For me, my child wants to keep our conversation private. It's a minor thing. My child wants to spend more time in her bedroom with her door closed. It's minor. The person she's still in your house. Your child wants to spend more time with her friends. Get to know her friends. Encourage your children to bring their friends home and get to know them. Please, parents, when they come home, when your children bring their friends home, don't sit in the living room so that you can hear their conversations. No. Neither should you go and tell them it is 8 o'clock, it's time for you to leave. What I did, I never would do that. But I took notice of those that left at 8 o'clock, those that left at 9, those that left at 10, and those that left at 11. So my own child cannot stay out after 9 o'clock. So the child that is staying 9, 10, 11, I usually will call, abeg, how far? Is it that the parents are not around? I try to find out more about that child. And most times, know what I do? I tend to get close to that child. Especially when I know that my child tells me, oh, mom, she's my best friend. Oh, he's my best friend. So you have to manage that very well. Okay, now talking back is very common with teenagers. Teenagers, they have very short temper. Very, very short temper. And they can get very distraught over relationship, friends, trouble, school-related problems. They get very upset about it. You have to be able to learn how to manage that very well. Also, I want you to understand that your teenager may lie to get his or herself out of trouble. So please, you also have to know how to manage that. Now, you also have to realize that your teenagers need your support. So I know that I said to you that they can push you to the point that you want to lash out. You are the adult. Don't let your child push you to the point that you lose your temper. I did it very only once, and maybe I know my time is running out. Maybe in my next video I will share one or two things I did, because for me, talking back was a no-no. For me, being disrespectful to me was, in fact, I used to tell my children, I am allergic to inappropriate behavior. I am allergic to rudeness. I am allergic to being disrespectful. And I'm still allergic to it today. And it goes back to choose your battles. Major in the majors and leave the minor alone. And I talked about is a period where your child wants to win. In fact, everything is a battle with your children, that's your teenager. He or she sees as a battle. He or she wants to tell you that he's right and you are wrong. It's not important. You state what is important and leave it. And I cannot but bring in here prayers. Parents, at these teenage years, between the ages of 13 and 19, one of the best strategy that will be the best for you is prayers. Go to your closet and begin to pray for that child. Not only will you begin to address those behaviors in the spiritual realm by prayers. It is said that whatever is seen physically has already manifested in the spiritual realm. So go and do your prayers. I will continue in my next video. So I want to say thank you for listening. Please share with your contacts, share with your friends, press your like button. You can leave a comment. If you have any questions, please leave it at the comment section, and then click on the notification so that when the next video uploads, you will be notified. Until I see you next time, stay blessed and ciao.